Do you want to just pull up a chair near the microphone? Oh.
How long will this take? I've left Melissa to do a stock count whilst it's quiet, but there are lots of things to count, so it needs two of us, really.
It'll take no time at all.
How long is no time at all?
About 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I thought it'd be longer than that. Did anyone send in photos of the origami hearts they tried to make from the last episode?
Yes, Andrew, they did. 4 people did, and they're not even worth mentioning.
Were they that bad?
Yes.
Am I too close to the mic?
Whoa! We don't want to burst the listeners' eardrums or break the headphones, ideally. Just move back a bit.
Am I alright here?
You literally have not moved back at all.
Is this better?
Move back a bit.
Now?
No, you're too far back now.
Here?
Yeah, perfect, yeah.
So what do I need to do?
I'll do an introduction, and then I'll just ask you a few questions.
About World Book Day?
Yep. Is that okay?
It's not a quiz, is it? Is it?
Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of the Discount Bookshop podcast. Now that we've got past the 6-month mark of this podcast, we'll be stepping things up a gear. For example, today you'll hear from my manager Andrew, who I'm pretty sure you'll have heard in the background of the podcast before. Yes, the podcast may not be changing whatsoever, but you could say that today, for the first time ever, there will be 2 guests. The first is my manager Andrew, who I mentioned. And
Hi everyone.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'll be doing a little interview with Andrew about what you can expect from our store this Thursday, the 3rd of March, which will be the 25th anniversary of World Book Day.
Are you going to do that again?
Then later, huh?
Are you going to do that again? You said it wrong.
Oh no, I'll just leave that in.
Oh, okay.
Then later on,
It's just that
Huh?
it's just that it doesn't sound
no,
great.
it's fine. They won't notice.
Okay.
Then later on, I'll be reading. Don't
Yeah.
say anything. I'll be reading an excerpt of a book which I'm sure you will all know, called The Gnome of Droitwich, written, of course, by the world-famous author Rowan Dale. I'll be reading that alongside my episode 4 guest, Alison Damson, who will be returning to the podcast to show off more of her acting skills.
Oh no, can you edit that out?
Did you just sneeze on the mic?
No, I sneezed into my arm.
Was it difficult?
No.
Because some of our customers have real difficulty doing that. Instead, they often choose to sneeze into the open air, contaminating everything in its path.
Oh yeah, someone did that just before I came up here.
See, that's probably why you're sneezing now. Well then, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, firstly, I'd just like to wish everyone a happy Pancake Day.
Is that today?
Yep.
I always forget about Pancake Day.
My name's Andrew, and I'm the branch manager of Jess's branch of the Discount Bookshop.
And this Thursday will be the 25th anniversary of World Book Day?
That's right, and to celebrate, the Discount Bookshop's head office has set a challenge to every store, which is to host a storytelling event in their shop based on this year's theme, which is the books of Rowan Dale.
But that's not all, is it, Andrew?
No, and this is the part that I'm less enthusiastic about. You did say that head office don't listen to this, didn't you?
They definitely do not listen to this. If they did, I would not be allowed to make this anymore because they consider it unprofessional.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you listened to any of these?
No, but only because I don't like the sound of my own voice.
You could just skip those parts because they're usually at the start.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
So, was it a song that you had to write?
Yeah, so anyway, head office asked every branch manager to write a song, which they will then perform at the storytelling event.
Doesn't it have to have lyrics which are linked to the Rowan Dale book which your store has chosen to focus on?
Yeah, so our chosen book written by Rowan Dale was The Gnome of Droitwich, so that will be the story which will be read at the storytelling event. And I'll also be singing the song I've written, which is based on The Gnome of Droitwich.
What's that stain over there?
In the corner.
Yeah, it looks like a giant squid squirted the wall with ink.
The delivery driver arrived yesterday and said that there was ink all over the plastic wrap, so it must have leaked in the lorry. Then when I took the plastic wrap off, I tried to catch it, but it just spilt everywhere.
So have you finished writing your song?
Yeah, but I'm not feeling confident about it.
Aw, why?
Because I'm not a music person.
You're not the music man.
No.
Will you be playing any instruments or have a backing track or anything when you sing?
I've learnt about 3 chords on guitar, especially for this. Well, maybe 2 chords. I will be very much sticking to those, I think.
Well, that's more than I can do. I can't play anything. Do you want to talk a bit about your songwriting process?
Well, I don't really have a process, so much as I wrote lyrics which were related to the Gnome of Droitwich, and some of them rhyme. Then I learned the most basic chords on guitar, and then just basically just play them over and over again until the song ends.
Well, truly an inspiration to us all. I got a few emails asking about the process, so there you are. I hope that helps you two budding musicians.
Oh, before I forget, the storytelling event will take place at 3 p.m. at every store, and the stores will be closed for making purchases. You do need a ticket to attend, and those without them won't be let in, but the tickets are free, so just ask for them in store, or you can order online.
Do you think we should explain why we chose The Gnome of Droitwich as our Rowandale book?
Oh yeah, we could do. You might as well tell them, you know better than me.
Well, there's this customer who comes into our store about once a week called Agatha, and her dad was the inspiration behind the gnome from The Gnome of Droitwich.
We didn't used to know her name, so we just called her the Gnome's daughter.
Yeah, so Agatha, the gnome's daughter, said that Rowandale used to see her dad fishing at the lake every day, and she said that Rowan said, "You remind me of a gnome sitting on that rock with your fishing rod." She says it like that. "You remind me of a gnome sitting on that rock with your fishing rod." So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know if she'll be coming to the event, but you'll know if you're sitting near her because she's always telling someone that her dad is the gnome. People usually have no idea what she's on about, but now you'll know.
Right then, I suppose you better get back to helping Melissa with the counts. What are you counting?
Kids' activity books.
Otherwise known as the books with the sweets stuck to the pages.
I hope not.
I bet by the time you go back downstairs, Melissa will already have found at least 5 books that we'll need to throw away.
I'm going.
And the listeners will see you for your big musical debut on Thursday.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that took longer than I thought, so I think we'll get straight on to the next guest. So let me just get my copy of The Gnome of Droitwich. Okay. Hear that? It's the sound of a good book. Right then, so it's nice. It is time for. It is nice and time for me to read an excerpt of the book, with none other than Alison Damson, who is also on episode 4. Oh, where's the button? Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Discount Bookshop Podcast, Alison Damson.
Did you say podcasts?
Welcome back to the Discount Bookshop Podcast, Alison Damson.
You did it again.
Podcast? Why can't I say that?
Podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay, let's try it again. Are you ready?
Yep.
Welcome back to the Discount Bookshop Podcast, Alison Damson.
That's right.
That's... Oh, no, don't mention that last bit. I'll probably just edit that out.
Oh, I see. So do I... What do I say now?
Just respond how you would normally.
Respond to what?
Oh my god. Okay. Welcome back to the Discount Bookshop, Alison Damson.
So I just respond to that, do I?
Yeah.
Will you edit in the podcast bit?
What podcast bit?
You just said the Discount Bookshop instead of the Discount Bookshop podcast.
Do you know what? If I remember, I'll just copy and paste all the words that I need together in a sentence, just so the beginning makes sense, and then we can just move on.
Okay.
So, Alison, I've asked you to be our first ever returning guest on the podcast so that you can help celebrate this year's 25th anniversary of World Book Day, which will be on Thursday. I know you like playing characters in your shop.
And in my life as well.
Okay, and in your life as well. So, I wondered if you wouldn't mind reading an excerpt from a book with me. Maybe I could play the narrator, and then you can try and play all the characters if you like.
I would love that! So, what book is it?
Well, as you know, this year the company wanted every store to have the theme being the Books of Rowandale.
Oh, she's such a wonderful writer.
She sure is. And as you know, each store could choose the book that they wanted to focus on, and our store chose the classic Rowendale book, The Gnome of Droitwich.
My store chose The Caterpillar and Its Companion. I'm so excited!
Well, what the listeners won't know is that you are actually dressed as the caterpillar right now.
Yes, in full caterpillar costume that my dad made for me, and look!
Oh yeah, there's the caterpillar's companion sitting there on your shoulder, very good. Is it a little worm?
A little worm, yes.
Are you going to be alright getting into different characters whilst dressed as the caterpillar?
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll be fine. I've been in this costume for so long today that I forget I'm even wearing it.
And you can see alright, because that bit that goes over your head seems a bit too big.
Oh, no, it'll be fine. If I just turn the pages with one hand like this, then I can use my other hand to keep the hood off my face. So, that's fine.
Right then. Oh, you alright?
Yeah, just trying to keep the hood up. But yeah, all good.
Should we start reading then?
I'm ready.
Okay then, listeners, here we go. So here is an excerpt from The Gnome of Droitwich by Rowendale. A girl with a backpack walked past a big tree. Dressed in lilac and pastel pink blossom, the tree danced merrily in the wind. As the girl walked by, she smiled.
Hello, my name's Anthea,
The girl said. From its bark, eyes began to appear, opening slowly, as if just awaking from a slumber. The tree said,
Hello, Anthea. And what might bring you to visit me at this time of night?
The girl laughed and replied,
Time of night? It isn't night time.
The tree blinked and spoke softly.
Well then, what time could it be, if not night time?
To which Anthea patted her tummy.
Why, it's past cake time, of course. I can hear the rumble in your tummy. Why ever did you not have cake time?
The tree sighed.
Oh, that naughty gnome has been in my lovely garden again, scattering my twigs and stealing my cake.
But before the tree could utter another word, the pair saw something scurry past behind them.
What in the world was that, Tree?
Anthea questioned.
Why, it's that naughty gnome back again for more of my yummy cake. And look how he's made a mess of my leaves.
He sighed.
Oh, goodness. Whatever will I do?
The two thought for a moment, before a light bulb appeared above Anthea's head.
I've had a thought. Perhaps, as I have lots of energy, I could go and talk to the gnome.
She thinks a second.
Is that his name? The gnome?
But the tree had drifted off.
Wake up, Tree! Wake up! I have to know!
She tried a second time.
Wake up, Tree! Wake up!
Once more, the tree left his dreams, and with a great yawn, he answered sleepily.
Oh, well, Anthea, its complete name is the Gnome of Droitwich.
And with that, he nodded off again, his snores reaching the moon. Anthea smiled, silently thanking the tree for his help. Then she set off on her adventure.
The Gnome of Droitwich? How extraordinary! I've never heard a name like that before. The Gnome of Droitwich? I love it!
Anthea peered behind her new friend, the tree, but saw no clues as to where the gnome had gone. She looked behind plants and examined rocks. She checked the vegetable patch and listened for scampering. Nothing. She was starting to feel fed up, so sat atop a fence post next to the pond with the water fountain, in the hope that she could gather some better thoughts.
Oh, where are you, the Gnome of Droitwich? I do wish you'd show yourself. Why are you so naughty, stealing all of the nice tree's cake and muddling up his leaves?
Suddenly, Anthea jumped as a voice appeared next to her.
Did you call me?
Anthea looked at who was sitting beside her and saw that the voice belonged to a small gnome, wearing a pink t-shirt and shoes, and green dungarees and hat.
Whoa! Who are you?
The gnome reached into his brown messenger bag and produced a slice of cake, which he proceeded to eat quickly and messily.
Well, I'm who you say I am. I'm the naughty gnome that everyone keeps talking about.
And quickly as that, he had munched the entire slice of cake.
You can't eat that cake. It's not yours. Oh, you are a naughty gnome.
I'm not naughty, I'm just hungry. I never get any cake at cake time, because no one ever shares with me.
Anthea couldn't quite believe what she was hearing. No cake at cake time, she thought. How terrible.
Well, are you always kind and helpful to others?
She inquired.
On the contrary, I never help people, because it never help me. Especially when I eat cake at cake time. Most people are unkind to the likes of me. Always have been. Always will be.
Well, that isn't what I think of people at all. People are most kind to me if I ask for help. Once, I lost my mitten, and it was found within half a day when everyone worked together. Perhaps what you need is a little help yourself.
The gnome of Droitwich groaned.
Oh, I don't need help. I need to be left alone with my cake.
But that's not your cake, gnome. That cake belongs to the tree, and now he has no energy at all because you've been sneaking his cake away from him. See how he sleeps during the day. That's not like trees at all. They love the sunshine.
The gnome looked over at the tree and sighed.
Well, I thought that maybe it'll be okay if we shared the cake between us, as I didn't have any. You see, often I can be found fishing in the nearby lake, but, well, my fishing rod is broken, and I'm as hungry as anything.
Anthea looked down at the gnome's brown messenger bag as he brought out a fishing rod, snapped in 2 pieces.
Why, that fishing rod could be made whole again with the help of this handy tape in my backpack. Here.
Anthea reached out her hands and held the 2 pieces of fishing rod in place.
Now we must work together to fix it.
As the gnome kept the 2 pieces aligned, he watched as Anthea took the tape and wrapped it around the rod until it was stable. A huge grin grew on the gnome's face, and he jumped for joy as he held his most prized possession.
You did it! I can't believe it! It's better than new! And it's all thanks to you. But I don't even know your name.
My name's Anthea, and I think I'd like to be friends with you. I don't believe that you're a naughty gnome after all. I think that you just needed some help.
The gnome sniffed, with tears in his eyes.
Oh, gnome, there's no need for tears to fall.
I just feel so happy and grateful. And I've never felt those feelings before. I think perhaps I should bake the tree a cake to wake him up and say sorry.
I think that might be a good idea. And I think I will help you too.
The new friends skipped off to bake the tree the best cake ever, and what they made had to be seen to believed. A chocolate cake, atop a lemon cake, atop a vanilla sponge cake, with icing in pink and green and blue and yellow and all the colours of the rainbow. There was glitter and stars, rainbows and flowers, and at the very top of the cake were marzipan leaves and twigs neatly arranged. Anthea and the gnome couldn't wait to give their friend the cake, so they tidied up the chaos that the gnome had made of the garden before stirring the tree from his slumber. Anthea tried first.
Wake up, please, tree. Tree! It's not working. I think you need to do it for it to work,
She said to the gnome.
Me? Are you sure? Okay, I'll give it a go. Tree, won't you wake up, please? I'm very sorry, and we have a surprise for you.
At that moment, the tree's eyes opened and lit up at the showstopper in front of him.
Wow! Where did you find that?
Wondered the tree, to which the gnome responded.
We made it for you. To say sorry for me eating all of your yummy cake. I hope you don't mind. Mind?
I don't mind at all. In fact, this is one of the kindest things anyone has ever done for me. It's not always easy asking for help, or to say that you are sorry, so I am very proud of you, Gnome. You are not a naughty gnome after all. You have shown that you are a very brave gnome indeed. And Anthea, you have shown that you are a great helper and leader for setting about talking to the gnome when I was in need. I think perhaps the three of us should invite everyone from all around to share this amazing cake for an extra cake time for one day only. Yes, I think that it would be appropriate for us to have a party this coming half hour. So, hurry and spread the word, Gnome, whilst Anthea and I prepare the decorations.
Without a word, the gnome of Droitwich sped off, leaving Anthea and the tree smiling at one another. They knew it had been a good day so far, and now it was time for the best party ever. Okay, I think it will end it there now, Alison.
Well, I don't know about you, Jess, but I thought our performances were excellent there. I just wish the audience could see the illustrations in this book, because they really are amazing. I mean, look at that big cake.
I know. I've always loved that picture. It's a shame the audience can't see it. Oh, never mind. Maybe one day I'll post a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, well, at least it's described in the book, I suppose. It looks even better than you can imagine, though. I just want to rip the page out and eat it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Don't do that, though, will you? That goes for anyone listening. Don't eat illustrations, please. They're for looking, not for eating.
Yes, and they do not always taste as nice as they look.
So, Alison, what's going on with your caterpillar character? Will you be in character for the whole of World Book Day?
Well, I've actually been doing 25 days of 25 characters for the 25th anniversary of World Book Day. So they'll all be characters from the Rowan Dale books, of course. And all of the costumes have been made by my dad, so shout out to him. I suppose I must be up to, day 23 now, am I? The 3rd of March will be day 25 on World Book Day itself. So I'll be playing the Caterpillar's Companion from The Caterpillar and Its Companion. That little worm has always been my favourite character. I'm pretty excited about that one. But I think it'll be pretty hard to get around in that costume, to be honest. Especially to get to the till area. But I'll figure it out.
So what other characters have you done so far? Oh, maybe just name a few.
I started off with dressing as the juggler from The Juggler and the Ice Cream. So a pretty easy one to begin with. I've also been the snake from The Snake on the Run, the sheep from The Sheep and Its Friends, and the river from The River Crossing By. That was a pretty interesting costume, because obviously I couldn't come dressed as a river, because I couldn't carry a whole tank of water around with me all day, and I didn't want to spend my whole day wet at work. So I just went with a flowy dress in the end, which looked like flowing water when I walked.
Well, that all sounds pretty impressive to me. And is your shop all ready for the storytelling event?
Yes, we're more than ready. Well, I am, anyway. We have our song written, and I've learned all the words so that I can sing along, so I'm very excited about that. It's very catchy. No, I won't sing it now. I'll save it for the day.
Great, well, thank you very much for coming back on the Discount Bookshop podcast to read with me, Alison.
No worries at all.
I hope your storytelling event goes well, and happy World Book Day.
Thank you. You too, Jess.
All right, bye, Alison.
Bye, Jess. Bye.
Okay, right then. I can't believe we're near the end of another episode of the Discount Bookshop podcast, but there we are. The next thing I have to do before we hear this month's Employee of the Month is to announce a new competition. This Easter competition will be to decorate an egg. So if I just get the email up. Okay, so the egg doesn't have to be decorated to look like an Easter egg necessarily, so the design is totally up to you. You could dress the egg as one of your family members, make it look like a bee, or paint on a game of snakes and ladders. It's your choice. As with the customer creative craft competition that I announced in episode 1 of this podcast, all materials used in creating your egg must have been bought from the discount bookshop, and you must provide a valid receipt to prove that you did so. Alison Damson has said that her dad will make a full costume-sized version of the competition winner's design, and that will be for the whole of head office to wear and have their photo in. Now, I don't know, well, I know that they don't listen to this, head office, and when I spoke to Bryn Jones in episode 5 of this podcast, it was pretty clear that they weren't great at checking their emails either, so I don't know if they're aware of this section of the prize. So I don't know if they know that they will be wearing costumes, but there we go. So entry for this competition must be a solo entry for anyone above the age of 18. Anyone under that age must apply with at least one person above 18, but they're not to have received help from them. The exception is that obviously some people below 18 may need help purchasing items, so they may receive financial help, and maybe help carrying the items home, and help putting them in the car, and obviously they can't drive, so and help emailing the photo of their creation to customer services. But you know, you get the idea. You're supposed to, I think in simpler terms, it just means they have to make the craft themselves to the best of their ability. But then I suppose no one would know if you had help, so I don't know, just try your best. Emails are to be sent to customer services with the deadline being Saturday 26th of March, and the subject line must be Easter Competition Entry 2022. After Saturday 26th of March, no emails will be read and all will immediately be destroyed. A bit dramatic. I think they meant deleted, because I don't know if you can... yeah. Emails must include photos of the egg. If displayed in a box or otherwise, the egg must be photographed both in and out of its display. Photos must be taken from every angle. And I should say that you are allowed help with the photography if you're under 18 as well, as it's, you know, this isn't a photography competition. Anyway, so you should send those photos in along with the receipt of the things you bought and a letter explaining your piece and why you think it should win. This is your time to shine, really. So really try and sell it here. And just a heads up, I know that one of the judges is Liam Prose, and he hates ducks. Hates them. So maybe avoid making your egg into a duck. One pecked him when he was 10 years old, and he's never let it go, basically. So, I mean, to be fair, he was sitting in the duck's nest, pretending to be a duck. So, you know, I understand the duck's frustration. So after emailing everything that you need to, just feel free to take your creation... oh yeah, just feel free to take your creation to the nearest branch of the discount bookshop, where we're hoping to create a window display of every entry that people bring in. Yeah, the windows in people's shops are looking pretty bare at the moment, so the more people bring in, the better. But having said that, only one entry is allowed per person, so make sure you only bring in one egg each. We don't want our windows to be overrun by eggs dressed as Iron Man. Though, thinking about it, eggs contain high levels of iron, so actually decorating one as Iron Man may not be a bad idea. But you know, just make sure that you don't all, make sure that you don't have the same person bringing in loads of the same egg. You get the idea. Aside from getting to see the employees and head office being dressed as your creation, you will also win the Discount Bookshop mystery bag, and which isn't really that much of a mystery. I think it'll probably have the usual stuff in, which is usually a mug and a pen and a gift card. A disappointing gift card. A disappointing gift card. And you will also appear, this is the exciting bit, you will appear as part of your prize as the next guest on this very podcast. Yes, you... the winner will be episode 8's guest on the Discount Bookshop podcast. What a treat. So, of course, get your entries in ASAP, and of course, it would be nice if at least one person entered, because otherwise I will be having no guest. And finally, it's this week's Employee of the Month, and the winner is Jane O'Brien. Well, thank you all so much for listening. I have so much more time on here now that my neighbour Sheila doesn't have a phone. Have a wonderful Mother's Day on the 27th of March. And as always, like, subscribe, share this with a friend. And I'll be back next time with the Easter competition winner. Alright, thanks a lot.